Hey, Facebook, James Klein here, and we are trying to do Sabelle and I our daily broadcast through Facebook Live. We had some problems with it before. We'll see if those work out now. If they don't, we'll wipe this and do it the regular way. But we're going to see. So as soon as she gets on here, she will request to join this broadcast, and we'll be on our way. Maybe. Hope you guys are doing wonderful this morning. It's beautiful. It's October 15th. And beautiful day in Colorado, the beautiful fall colors. I'm going to go out driving this afternoon up into the mountains, see what I can see. Rumor has it that the fall leaves, the aspens, will be at their peak this weekend. So today would be a good day to do it, to get outside and get into an adventure. So I'd encourage you to do that as well. But wherever you are, there, Sabelle's watching. Bring them on video. So I'm going to bring Sabelle on video. And I press the thing. I'll send her an invite. So I'm to join me on video. And we'll accept. All right. All
Hey,
right. Okay. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Something's happening. And you're on. You're on.
I am on. I think I am
And the
on.
sound is good for both of us.
It is.
Yay.
I see just half of my head. Can you see all of me?
I can see all of you. You're right at the frame in the top.
Okay, so hold on. Let me see if I can. Okay. So you might hear some noise. I mean, because life is happening at my house. I am my kids, which is great. So no
that's what
future.
makes it good. That's what makes it rich.
Yes.
Infinitely rich and infinitely varied and so on and so forth. So how are
Yes.
you this morning and Saturday? I was just mentioning before we got on that you look fabulous for a Saturday morning. That's not what I would wear on a Saturday morning. Well, that's probably not what I
Thank
would wear on
you.
a Saturday morning anyway.
Thank you. Thank you for your compliments. It always takes me off guard, so I always laugh. I should just accept it, take it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just
Thank
like,
you.
thank you.
Even on Saturdays, I like to get dressed
It's like
and
thank you. It's like
look and feel beautiful.
yeah, thank you. I've been working on this. I'm glad you noticed.
Of what? Complimenting me?
Yeah. So
Oh.
that's the attitude you take. It's like, yeah, thank you. Who said I can't remember if I mentioned this to you, but somebody like one of the guest artists at DSA one time. I said, I'm 57 years old. She's like, 57? You look good for 57. And I'm like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much because I've been working on it. I've been deliberately creating myself to live my best life and so on. So it's like acceptance, right?
It is. It's funny though, because that's not something we do easily, like accepting compliments. And I realized that I used to downplay a little compliments because you want to be humble, but humility is not. I was recently reading about the meaning of humility and what it really was. Long story short, it's okay to accept compliments. And so when you say you're beautiful, I'm like, thank you. Yes, I am.
Thank you. I am, and that's so fun.
Yes.
That's so. I love the sound of the kids. We were talking about. We were texting about morning routines a little bit earlier. Hey, Lynn. Nice to see you. So Lynn is a friend of mine from high school.
Oh,
actually, I don't think I've seen Lynn since high school. but anyway, so we were talking about morning routine, and what I wanted to say to you was that I've been playing around with this quote in my mind quite a bit over the past couple of days. The system that you have in place is perfect for the results you're getting, right? So we all have, like, to use it in this example, we all have a morning routine, right? And the results we're getting from that morning routine means that the system we have, the morning routine we have, is perfect for that.
Yeah,
right.
I listened to your example in the leader and the coach of the person who was filling the coffee to the brim, and yeah. Basically, like, to me, it seems like an action, like almost like stimuli response. Whatever you do, there is a natural consequence. It's like natural consequence, right? So if whatever you're doing is not working, it's because what you're doing is not the thing you should be doing if you're expecting another result, right?
Exactly. And I think the key to it also is to not make yourself wrong, or to not make yourself less of a person or whatever, or have it be about you. It's not about you. It's about the system you have in place. And
It's
if
about the
you can,
system.
you can just respond with love and say, well, I have with loving awareness, I have this system in place and it's giving me these results. What could I do if I change the system?
Yes,
Right?
and it's like the fact that external circumstances usually, if you take the model from Brooke Castillo, the circumstances and people are the things we can change, but we can change everything else, meaning our results. And if you see what gives you a result, it's a consequence of your action or inaction or reaction that gives you a result. But what creates your action is your emotions, and what creates your emotions is the thought. So we as coaches, we know that if you change your thought, you change your whole life. So if you change your thought, you change your results. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The thought always figures into the results. The thought is always reflected in the results, which I think is really fascinating. Actually, I had another one I wanted to share with you. I was reading for Lindsay's book club, that book, how to be. I think it's called How to Be Loving.
Okay.
Which I have an issue with that. Actually, how to be loving, because it's not, to me, it's not how, it's who, right? It's who do I need to be loving, not the techniques I need to use. But she had this is Danielle Laporte, so probably you've heard of her. I've never heard of her.
I've heard of her, like the books from the book club, but I haven't read anything from her.
Yeah, so I guess she's a big Oprah person, and Oprah features her and all this stuff. But
in her book club,
what she was talking about is something that you and I are familiar with as a concept. We're always creating. And I was thinking, instead of calling the law of attraction the law of attraction, you call it the law of creation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, it depends. I don't know exactly what makes you think that, but there is what you attract and there is what you create. Like for me, if I hear the law of attraction, is that the person you are, like the vibrations you have will attract similar vibrations. So you will attract the people who think like you. You will attract the attitudes that you have. If you're nice with someone, that person is going to be nice with you. If you're aggressive with someone, that's the response you're going to have. But the creation,
but ultimately, you're creating that. Right?
You are creating that. But I would say that the law of creation is what I'm consciously doing, what I'm aware of. Because if I'm attracted, usually if I'm being nervous or something, sometimes I'm not conscious that I'm being that way. So I will still attract it. And for me, when there is creation, there is a motivation, there is an intentionality. There is an intentionality behind. But the attractivity it's not necessary that there is an intention behind it. Do you see where I make the distinction? My distinction.
But to make it work, you're still deliberately creating thoughts that are attracting.
You're not always deliberately creating thoughts. We know that we have like how many thousands of thoughts a day. We're not deliberately doing them. They are, just happening. What we can do, you remember when you say it's part of your values.
Taking one of them, pulling one of them and practicing it over and over.
Yeah. And it's in your values, like you said, I am an observer of my thoughts. So they're even in the living untethered. No, the first one, the untethered soul. His introduction is all about, it never stops in there. Always working, and it's always happening. So it's you being consciously paying attention of them, just to be aware of them, or But we know that most people live without being aware of what's happening, or ignoring it, or just being passive about them.
So back to what we were talking about just a second ago. What what is it that you want to incorporate into your morning routine that's not there? What system do you want to have in place that's not currently in place?
So before my youngest daughter, Bella Joy, so she's 3.5 years, I would wake up pretty early because I am a morning person, 4:30, and I would pray, journal, work out, do those things. And for the first 2 years of her life, she was very much, she, how do you say, structured. She would sleep in her bed and she would um, get up, and we had the things that she would do. But for the last year and a half, we're very unstructured. It means that we don't have a single routine. So, and she's very attached to me. And lately she's been sleeping in my bed with me. And so when I wake up, I like to wake up in the morning very early and go for a walk. And when she gets up when I'm not there, she's upset and she cries. So it's kind of difficult for me now to get up, and I'm always thinking, but if she wakes up and I'm not there, she's gonna be upset. So sometimes I still do it because I really like to go out in the morning and walk when everybody else is sleeping before 6. And so when I say I want a routine in place, I want to go back to the place where I know that every morning I go out, I get up, I go out and walk, and then I come back, and then I do the rest, my prayer, my journaling, and all of that. And then
so that would be contingent on Bella Joy sleeping later.
She, I said her, she's a little animal. She smells, she knows when I am up, and then she gets up when I am up. But I need to, she's going to transfer probably to her room again soon. I'm working on that. And so I can own my morning routine again.
Yeah,
it's me.
Go ahead.
What I just want to say is that I am aware that I am creating that. It's not something that is happening to me. I'm just owning it.
Yeah. I was just, you mentioned that, and then my mind obviously will go back to with Corvo when Corvo was 3. Like, what was my routine? And I know I had one in place, and it was challenging to get the kids to cooperate with your idea of scheduling, I think.
Yeah. Because kids are spontaneous. I think they strive in a non-structured.
Yeah. Oops, something happened. I lost your sound. Can you hear me? Can you hear that? I lost your sound. Maybe try to take the. It probably won't go back. That's the. Let's see. So I'm connected, but I'm not hearing you. This is the not if you can hear me though. I can't hear anything you're saying, so. Let's see if she comes. I don't know if anybody can hear me. It looks like nobody's watching right now, but we'll see if anybody can hear me. So I think Sabelle's watching again, and she's going to come on. Maybe. Who was that? Huh. Okay.